Did you know that Linux Mint comes with a built-in TV app with hundreds of channels you can watch for free? The thing is, Linux Mint might just be the most complete out-of-the-box distro in the world because it comes with a specialized set of built-in apps that quietly remove the everyday annoyances you'd normally install 10 separate apps and tools to fix. I've been using these for years and honestly, some of them still surprise me. Instant file sharing with your smartphone, turning websites into real apps with a single click, one-click system snapshots and a full-fledged TV app, all baked right in. In this video, I'm showing you 10 amazing Mint apps that you get pre-installed, what each one actually solves and the catches worth knowing. So without further ado, let's jump right in. Alright, let's kick things off with one of my absolute favorites, Warpinator. And I love this one because it solves a real pain point. See, when you want to send a file from your computer to another computer or your smartphone or vice versa, you can either use a pen drive or upload it to Google Drive and download it again from another device. And that's explicit. I mean, we are in 2026. This is the exact little annoyance Warpinator quietly kills. It's Linux Mint's built-in tool for sending files across your local network. No cloud, no account, no sign-in. Think of it as airdrop style sharing for Linux world. And here's the kicker. It's already sitting in your menu. You install nothing. Connecting is simple. Just open Warpinator on your computer and on your other Mint machine, or grab the Warpinator app on your Android phone. And as long as both the devices on the same Wi-Fi, they'll find each other automatically. And once they do, this is where the magic happens. I pick the device, right-click a file, a screenshot, a PDF, a video clip, hit send, accept it on the other end, and boom, it's there in seconds. Quick tip, jump into preferences and set a unique group code. Mint's own docs recommend it and it keeps your transfers secure. Warpinator lets you use all your devices as one in a seamless way. You can even right-click on files in the file manager and send them directly. Just remember, both the devices need to be on the same network and this isn't a folder sync tool like SyncThing. It's for quick, instant transfer. But for that, it absolutely nails it. Actually, once you start using this, you'll never be able to go back. I mean, this really simplifies things. Okay, this next one is just bonkers to me. Hypnotix. And let me set the scene. Sometimes you don't want to think, you just want to throw on some live TV, maybe the news in the background, or maybe just flick through a few channels. But to watch anything today, you're juggling 10 different subscriptions and platforms, and browsing and searching for what to watch is a hassle on its own, right? Well, Mint ships with its own live TV player, and it's called Hypnotix. And here's the wild part. It comes preloaded with a whole bunch of free legal channels right out of the box. Live TV, movies, series, baked right into your operating system. I mean, who expects a TV app to ship with the Linux distro? That's nuts. Let me show you. I open Hypnotix, browse through the channel groups, click one and it just plays. The interface is clean, dead simple, nothing in your way. Now for me, many of the channels listed here don't work. But if you got your own M3U playlist or an extreme provider, you can plug that right into. I'll link a good free one in the description. You can also just Google search for IPTV M3U free channels, download the files and import them into Hypnotix, and you'll be surprised at the channels and the content you can watch here for free. I'm not kidding. You can pretty much watch all the TV channels in the world for free here. Just need to patiently search and import the M3U files here and use legal sites for this. Now, this is important. I won't sugarcoat this. Hypnotix is a player, not a content provider. It doesn't host any of these channels itself, so reliability varies. Some channels might be rock solid, others might be dead on the day you try them. Out of the box channels that we get here are very spotty, but the channels you add are going to work great. I've linked a good collection in the description below. Alright, this next one is tiny, but stick with me because it's sticky. You know those little throwaway notes, a phone number, a quick to-do, some address a friend rattles off on a call? Opening a full-blown note app for that is a total overkill. I mean, who's got the patience? Sticky is Mint's built-in sticky notes app. Featherweight lives right on your desktop with a little tray icon to show or hide everything at once. I jot something down, color-code it, group a few together and they survive reboots, so nothing ever vanishes. You can stick multiple sticky notes on your desktop and you can use this in a simple way, or you can use it for powerful things like your daily to-dos, agendas, the important stuff. Now look, it's intentionally simple. It's not replacing Notion or Obsidian and there's no syncing. But honestly, that's the whole point. It's the smallest app here, but it might just be the one you leave open all day. Okay, this next one isn't flashy, but it might just be the most important app on this whole list. Timeshift. Let me paint a picture. You run an update, you tweak some config files, you install something you probably shouldn't have, and suddenly your system won't boot. We've all been there, and that fear, that's exactly what stops people from experimenting in the first place. Timeshift is Mint's built-in system snapshot tool. It takes snapshots of your system. So if anything ever goes sideways, you just roll back to a working state in minutes. And here's how much Mint cares about it. It actually nudges you to set this up on your very first boot. Let me show you. I open Timeshift, run through the quick setup, pick async or BTRFS, choose a drive, schedule daily or weekly snapshots, and create one right now. And the best part, now even if your system refuses to boot, you can restore from a live USB. Now, personally speaking, Timeshift has been a huge part of my life. Not just on Linux Mint, I install it on absolutely all the Linux distros I install. Actually, it's one of the first things I do. This is the Miracle app on Linux and it comes pre-installed on Linux Mint. Now, one thing to keep in mind, this is a system rollback tool, not a personal file backup. It will not save your photos and documents, so pair it with something like Mint Backup if you want that. Next up, and this one might just be the biggest surprise of the whole video, web apps. Now think about how you actually use your computer today, be honest. So much of our lives now lives inside the browser. YouTube, ChatGPT, Notion, Google Docs, it's all just websites. And before you know it, you got 15 tabs open, you're hunting for the one you actually need. Sound familiar? Well, Mint has a built-in fix for this and it's called web apps. And what it does is beautifully simple. It takes any website and turns it into its own app, its own window, its own icon, its own menu entry, and it even alt plus tabs like a proper app. Mint has had this since version 20 by the way. Let me show you. I open web apps, type in YouTube music, pick an icon, choose a category and hit OK, and just like that, it's sitting in my menu like any other application. I can pin to the panel, alt plus tab straight into it, and it behaves completely separately from my main browser. And here's the honest bit, it's not magically a native app. Under the hood, it's still an isolated browser window, but for killing that tab chaos, yeah, it's brilliant. And the ability to launch YouTube or Google Docs or ChatGPT just like a native app, either pinned on the bottom panel or directly from the menu, is just invaluable on Linux. We don't get native apps for this. I mean, I love having ChatGPT right here on my taskbar. Any question I have, anything I need to do, I can launch a super genius assistant in a single click. This saves me so much time every single day. And if you too want to get that good with ChatGPT and use it like a pro, I have launched a one-on-one ChatGPT mastery coaching program where I'll personally teach you and take your ChatGPT and AI skills from beginner to pro level in just 3 hours. Most people are stuck using just 1% of what ChatGPT can do, but in 3 hours, just you and me, we are going to master the fundamentals, learn prompt engineering frameworks that you can apply anywhere, and move on to the advanced techniques of sparring and meta prompting. I'll also help you build prompts and workflows that are going to give you a massive boost in your personal and professional life, tailored specifically for you. You also get 2 bonus browser extensions, one that lets you save and use all your prompts and another one that lets you dictate and type in any website. And since it's a one-on-one, spots are genuinely limited. Sign up using the link in the description below. Alright, quick one, but a genuinely handy one. System information. So here's the scenario. Something on your machine isn't working. You head to a forum to ask for help and the first thing people ask is, okay, what hardware are you running? And suddenly you're googling terminal commands just to figure out what GPU you got. And that's where many people quit Linux. Mint has a built-in fix, System Information app. It's actually a new app. It lays out your entire machine in one clean window. CPU, GPU, RAM, kernel, distro version, the lot. And on Mint 22.3, they've added dedicated troubleshooting pages for USB, GPU, PCI and BIOS. And here's the genuinely useful bit. I can copy a full system report with one click and paste it straight into a forum post. No memorizing commands, no guesswork. Just know, this is a diagnostic tool, not a fix-it tool. It tells you what you got and what's wrong. It doesn't repair anything by itself. But for getting help fast, it's a lifesaver. This gives you a detailed view of what's going on in your system at a quick glance. I think something like this should be included in every Linux distro. Now this next one might look boring on paper, but stick with me because it's easily the most powerful app on Linux Mint. Nemo, the file manager. Now I know what you're thinking, a file manager is just a file manager, right? Wrong. This is the app you touch more than any other every single day, and Nemo looks ordinary, but it's quietly one of the most powerful file managers out there. Out of the box, you get a proper dual panel split view with F3, batch renaming, bookmarks, templates, the right click power moves like open in terminal and open as root. Little things, but they do add up fast. By the way, did you know that you can quickly press spacebar after selecting a file to get a Mac OS style quick preview of contents of the file without opening another app? But here's where Nemo goes from good to genuinely incredible. Nemo Actions. Mint ships a dedicated Actions app where you install right-click superpowers, and I mean superpowers. Convert any image format straight from the menu. Merge or compress PDFs locally, no sketchy websites. Send a file to your phone with Warpinator. Copy a full file path to your clipboard in one click. One right click replacing entire applications. It's crazy. No other operating system has anything like this. Honestly, this deserves its own video, and it's got one. Links up there. These right click actions make Nemo the most powerful, flexible file manager out there. It redefines what a file manager can do. This next one quietly solves one of the scariest parts of switching to Linux, driver manager. Because let's be honest, the big fear everyone has is, will my hardware even work? My Wi-Fi, my graphics card, and especially that dreaded word, nvidia. On a lot of systems, sorting drivers used to mean hunting through forums and copy-pasting terminal commands like it's 2010. Mint kills that anxiety with Driver Manager. It scans your machine, figures out exactly what hardware you got, and hands you the right drivers, proprietary or open, in one clean window. No PPAs, no terminal, no guesswork. Let me show you. I open it, it scans, and there it is. The recommended NVIDIA driver sitting right there. I pick it, hit apply, reboot, done. The thing that scares people the most, handled in about 3 clicks. Compare this to Arch Linux or Fedora. Oh, a quick tip. Take a Timeshift snapshot before you swap a driver, just in case. Alright, this next one sounds boring, but that's exactly the point. Update Manager. Because think about how updates feel on other systems. A forced restart at the worst possible moment that don't turn off your computer screen, and zero clue what's actually being installed. And on some Linux distros, updating means trusting the terminal and hoping nothing breaks. And let's not even talk about Windows updates. Right now, at the time of the making of this video, I'm dealing with a huge mess caused by a Windows update. I clicked on update and shutdown, and my computer absolutely failed to boot. I took it to a service center, and now they are completely replacing the motherboard itself. Yeah, thank you Windows update. Another month and my laptop would have been out of warranty, and I would have had to pay for the whole thing. Mint's Update Manager throws all that out. A little tray icon tells you when updates are ready, and one clean window lists everything. Kernel, apps, security patches with clear descriptions of what's changing. I click the tray icon, glance over the list, hit install updates, type my password, done. No terminal, no forced reboot, no drama, and it ties right into Timeshift so you can snapshot before an update. It also gives you deep control over what gets updated and what doesn't. This is the Mint philosophy in one app. Visible, controlled, beginner friendly, you're always in charge and you can see exactly what's happening. Sure, it's intentionally not flashy, and hardcore users might still prefer the terminal, but for quietly keeping your system healthy and secure, it just works. Okay, last app on the list, and a nice simple one to close with, Celluloid. Picture this, you just downloaded a video, you double click, and on most freshly installed Linux distros, that's often a recipe for pain. Codec errors, some player that looks like it's from 2005, or being nagged to install something just to watch an MP4. You just want it to play. Celluloid is Mint's built-in video player, but the thing is, it's actually a GTK frontend for MPV. So you get that rock-solid MPV engine underneath, wrapped in an interface that actually fits the Cinnamon desktop. And honestly, that's not much to show, which is the whole point. I double-click a video and it just plays. Drag and drop files, build a quick playlist, scrub around, no codec hunting, no setup. It handles basically any format you throw at it, and for the tinkerers, it'll take your MPV configs and shaders too. Now it's intentionally minimal. If you want a deep media library or kitchen sink player, plenty of folks still reach for VLC, and that's totally fine. It's one quick install away. But as a sensible default that just works on day one, Celluloid nails it. And that's the whole point of Linux Mint. It doesn't feel polished because it's flashy. It feels polished because it quietly shipped these little tools for the boring problems people actually have. So I'm curious, which of these built-in apps do you already use the most, and which one did you completely sleep on until today? Let me know down in the comments. And hey, if you enjoyed this video, if you found it useful, definitely consider subscribing to the channel and leave me a big thumbs up. And if you're serious about mastering ChatGPT, check out my one-on-one ChatGPT mastery program. In just 3 hours, I'll personally take you from a total beginner to pro. Link in the description. Next up, check out my video on Nemo actions, where I show you how to supercharge Mint's file manager with right-click superpowers. Trust me, you don't want to miss that one. Alright, this is Linux Tex signing out.